got into entrepreneurship because of what I was exposed to. A lot of people, when, depending on where they were raised, I was raised in Indiana, middle class house. We thought the people that were making a lot of money was the doctor down the street that lived in the big house. We thought that's like the pinnacle. We didn't know, $200,000-$300,000. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I thought that $100,000, if I made that someday, I could make it, that I could have everything I want, that's the number, right? And then, so when I went through college, hustled, graduated early, got my first job, and I was at that job, and I was like, how can I get to 100,000? I was on a track to do that. And then I quickly got exposed to people that were making $1 million a year. So when I switched from that company to another company, there was people there making $1 million, $2 million a year. And I was like, dang, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. I need to find a company to go work for to make $1 million, $2 million a year. That's insane. That's crazy. And then when I shifted jobs again, because when you're in corporate America, you shift around, you move around, you find an opportunity and you shift. You should treat your career like a business if you're in corporate America. I'm not talking about entrepreneurship. I'm talking about corporate America. Okay. So then the next place I worked, I was around people that were doing 50, 100 million. Traveling in a private jet, going visiting people that were the top entrepreneurs of the country, scaling their businesses. And I got to see that and I was like, wow, this is where the goal should be. These people are living life, seeing where they go, the vacations, the houses, the freedom, the convenience. Those are two big words for me, freedom and convenience, to be able to dictate what you're doing in your life, what your kids are exposed to, everything. That little stage that a lot of people don't see, right? If you're not in the arena, you can't see the stage. Okay, so I got to see behind the curtain that these rich people's lives, because I was told growing up, rich people aren't as happy as you. Don't worry, you're fine. They're not as happy as you. They have a lot more stress. They have a lot more of this, It's not worth it, right? That's what middle class and poor people say. They say it's not worth it. And let me tell you right now, it's 1,000% worth it. The people that tell you that probably have never been exposed to the lives of the super rich. They've never seen what it's like to fly a private jet instead of flying coach. You can get somewhere, you can walk on the plane, fly out within 10 minutes. It's insane. No security. You're going out. Convenience. You're not tired. You're not jet lagged because the plane flies higher. You got all these things that help you. Plane flies lower, actually. So you have all these things, conveniences, that make your life easier. So I got exposed to that. So that's when I was working at the last company that I worked at. I was working there and I helped start an insurance agency, and it's kind of the first time of me publicly talking about this, but it's been many years now, so I can kind of be open about talking about it. I was kind of promised equity in that insurance agency that I was starting for that owner, and that equity never came. And me and my wife, we were in South Carolina at the time. We wanted to move back to Indiana. And I said, I prayed to God and I said, hey, if you can find me a job, if you can open up a door, I'm going to take the action, right? That's what I believe. I believe we take the action, God opens the doors, right? I'm going to take the action. I'm going to apply for all these places. I want to find a way out. I'm going to find a way to get back to Indiana, find another opportunity. Didn't really like what we were doing. So I was making 90. And I said, if I can find a job, 80 to 90,000, then I will stay. I won't start my business, God. So if you tell me and you show me an opportunity that I can make that, then I'll go do that. That's my sign. If not, I'm going to start my business. Kept getting denied. I was making too much money. And I kind of moved around every a year and a half. That's not good, right? They're like, why are we going to pay you so much? You haven't stuck around. I get it. That's kind of how I am. I kind of jitter. I'm all over the place. So didn't come, and me and my wife, we quit our job. She was making 45, I was making 90, so we're making good money together on Hilton Head Island. Quit our job to go to zero. Went to zero. And it was so crazy that back then, you're worried about things not working out. You're worried about things not going on. It's so fun looking back on that period where it was me and her, we had a whiteboard and we put $500. We were trying to make $500 a week in our business. And we were just hustling, and somehow every week we just kept making 500. So we were making, 2,000 a month. And then we started making 3,000, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. And now we've scaled so much. So starting Wexford was so cool because it was all on us, and we were dedicated to that. So I've been in the trenches. I've been there, and it was such a such a cool like journey up that it's just so unique. And if you've been there, you understand what I'm saying. And if you're going down that route, I'm going to tell you, buckle up and be ready because it will be a ride. From starting Wexford, I saw a need in the contracting space because we work with a lot of contractors to start contractor back office to provide back office support for contractors. So we do websites, SEO, digital marketing. We see that a lot of contractors are really good at painting, they're really good at flooring, they're really good at their trade, but they're not so good at the other stuff that we're really good at Wexford. You see, Wexford Insurance, we generate over 1,000 leads a month from our different marketing sources, and we know that is the backbone of what our company is. If you don't have a sales problem, you have a facilitating problem, you can grow so much. A contracting company, what happens is they get really busy, and then the sales, they're busy doing the work, and then there's this downturn, and they have to get busy on the marketing. They get busy on the marketing, they do the job, and it's up, down, or down. We try to make it go up. That's what we want. We want our business to continue to go up. So then through that whole process of entrepreneurship, I started this YouTube channel talking about business ideas and entrepreneurship, things that I've learned along the way. And this podcast is just a dedicated time with how busy I am for me to sit down for 30 to 45 minutes with you and collect my thoughts instead of doing these little 5-10 minute videos that I've traditionally done. If you look back on my channel,